Hey there, it's Walter here from fxjake.com, and I just wanted to talk about the chart that Matt posted here, and Matt and Dan have been talking about this on the forum at nakedforexnow.com. Basically, this is what Matt was looking at. He was looking at this candle. Let me show you. This candle right here. He was looking at selling it, and I think I agree with what Dan was saying about that, which is basically it is an engulfing candle, but is it on a zone? That's really the critical thing. And if you look at my chart, my zone was drawn here at 52.95. We can go ahead and make that 53. 52.95 is close enough to 53 even, so I'll do that. So I have it drawn at 53. And the reason why, of course, is because when the market came up here, it touched it, and then it bounced here, and then it paused here on the way down, came up back up and touched it, and that's kind of where we are right now. So let's look at this big shadow, though, because I think it brings up a couple of good points. The first is that it is a big shadow in the strict sense of the word, because it's the largest candle we've seen in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, possibly 7 candles. Let's see. Does it have a wider range than this candle? That's a 50 pip range, and I think our big shadow candle is actually going to be wider. Yeah, it's about 60. So we'd have to go all the way back to this candle to see a candle bigger in terms of the range. And it does engulf it, but it's not really at a support and resistance level. Mine was drawn up here around 53, and so I wouldn't have taken this. The other thing, and this is the real kicker, even though it is the biggest candle we've seen in the last, 8, 9 candles, and even though it does take out the previous candle and the one before it, it's not on a zone, and 2, it doesn't stick out. See how the price action, the high and the low here, is mostly where the market's been trading for the last week or 2 almost. Almost the last 2 weeks. It's been trading in this area. So the best big shadows are going to have more of a they're gonna usually stick out more. And let me show you. Let me see if I can find an example like this one. See this one right here? Now this one is not the largest candle we've seen because you do have this candle here that's larger. It's the biggest candle we've seen in the last 3 candles, but then this one is bigger. But look how it completely engulfs the prior candle. And if I look to the left here, there's a lot of room to the left. That's critical for me. If I don't see a lot of room to the left, then I won't take the trade. And in fact, this 2 candle formation, I can take this much of the 2 candle formation and pull it across, and you can see that it would have to go all the way back to this day right here, which is from the big shadow 30 trading days prior. No, sorry, 30 candles prior, because these are 4-hour candles. They're not daily candles. So that's the kind of one. And you might look at this one and say, well, it's on top of support, so don't take it. That's fine too. But let me show you one that's got more room to the left. This one is sort of a with the trend big shadow here, and it does stick out a bit. But obviously with the trend ones aren't going to stick out much. This one actually has a little bit of room at the bottom, and it does trade higher, but then it would have been a losing trade. But that's all right. This is actually a great example of a big shadow with room. It closes down near the low. It's a nice white candle. This is the type of candle that I would like to see. Now, I don't really see it on the support and resistance zone. If it printed up here, it would have been brilliant. But that's the kind of thing I'm looking for here. So as far as Matt's question about that one, I would say definitely not an ideal setup. And I'm glad to hear that he didn't take it. And then I definitely agree with what Dan was talking about. Now the other thing we should point out here is that this level at 53, it's paused here, it broke through it, and now it's come back down, so it may retouch it here and bounce. This is a pair that a lot of people have been watching lately because we had this kangaroo tail a while back, and that was this bar right here. But notice that the market never traded lower during the Asian session. That's why this one never triggered. This low here was made early on in the Asian session, and then it went all the way up here at the end of the day, and it never came back down and triggered the sell. The sell would have been below the low of this candle. All right, so until the next trading video, I wish you very happy trading, and let me know if you see any more big shadows out there, and we'll take a look at them.